Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'll be teaching you how to make this skirt with a butt lift. If this is what you like to learn, please come on and let's dive into the tutorial. Thank you. If you're a new returning subscriber, do well to subscribe if you're a new subscriber. Thank you for watching. So the first thing I'll be doing is to make our calculation. So the hip round I'm working with is 44. So to get the front hip measurement, 44 divided by 2, it will give us 22. So we are going to minus 1 from the 22 and we get 21. So we're going to divide 21 divided by 2 and we get 10.5. So that will be our front hip. So for the back hip, we're going to divide our hip round divided by 2. We get 22. So we are going to add that 1 inch that we minus from the front hip. We are going to add it back, so we get 23. 23 divided by 2 will give us 11.5, and that will be our measurement for our back hip. So I hope you understand. So the front hip is 10.5, the back hip is 11.5. So now I'm going to fold my fabric into 2. I'm cutting the front part first. So this is into 2. And I'll be marking my starting line, and which is also going to serve as my allowance, half-inch allowance, because I'm going to be infusing these parts on a top area. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. A top part. It's not just a skirt. I'm going to be infusing it to make it a dress. So I'm marking the hip line now. The hip line is 8 inches because the owner of the material is not that tall. The client is not that tall. She's a short person. So I'm making use of 8 inches. You can make use of 8.5 or 9. Depends on how tall whoever is wearing the clothes is. So after getting the 8.9, I'll get my knee line. So the knee line I'm working with is 27. It's 37 from the top. So the knee line is 37 and I'm going to mark it now. So as you can see, I'm marking 37 just like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the hem length. That's the dress length. So the dress length I'm working with is 36 or 37. So I'm going to mark 37 just like so. After marking 37, I'm going to show you what I've marked. So this is the 37 and it's almost at the length of the fabric. So I'm going to mark 37 like so. I'm going to connect the line just like so. And after connecting it, I'm going to measure what we have there, because I'm going to add another 2 inches allowance for the hemming of the fabric. So I'm going to use that to turn in the lining. So I have just exactly my measurement right there. So the waist round I'm working with, after dividing it, I have 8.75. So I've marked 8.75 plus 1.5 inch, and I have marked it there. So the hip round I'm working with, now remember that our hip is 10.5 for the front. I've marked 10.5 and I'm going to add 1.5 inches allowance, just as you can see. So now for the knee length. So the knee measurement I'm working with is, I'm going to minus half inch from the 10.5 and I'm going to just mark it down. 10.5. So instead of adding 1.5 inches for allowance there, I'm going to add just 1 inch to avoid any bulge around there. I hope you understand. So the total measurement I'm having around there now is 11 inches. So I'm going to mark the same 11 inches right here. I'm marking same 11 inches now, and I'm going to mark it at the hem line as well. And I'm going to connect the line now, just as you can see. So I'm connecting the line just like so. I'm going to mark the same thing, the same 11 inches right here. And after doing that, I'm going to connect the line just as you can see. So I'm going to make use of my curve driller to mark this part. Please ensure that when you are marking this part, the edges are not sharp. Please make sure that it is curvy. and not that too curvy, not that sharp at that edge. Make sure it is well blended, please. So I'm just going to connect it just like so, and you can see the shape of our skirt is already coming out just like this. And what I'm going to do now is to cut it out. I'm going to cut it out. We are done with our front part, so I'm done cutting it out, and this is what I have after cutting it out. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place another fabric for our back part. So now just add about 2.5 to 3 inches excess to the front part for you to get the measurement for the back parts. So I've done that, and I've extended my lines just like so. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm extending my upper allowance now. So this allowance is what I'm going to use to join it to the upper parts, which I'm going to be joining it with to make it a dress. So now our hip measurement, so remember here we have 1.5 inches allowance. I'm going to mark it just like so, and my real measurement for the back is going to start from that line. Now it's going to start from that line. So our hip measurements for the back, remember, it is 11.5 inches. So from there I'm going to mark my 11.5 inches, and I'm going to just put it down just like so. I hope you understand. 11.5 inches, and I'm putting it down just like so. So the waist round is still the same. I'm just going to mark 1 inch here for the dart allowance, and I'm going to mark 1.5 inch for the zipper allowance and the turning of lining on this part. I hope you understand. Zipper allowance and turning of lining on this part, 1 inch here and 1.5 inch here. So I have 2.5 inch there. So I have going to mark my 1.5 inch at the hip line as well, and I'm connecting it now to the knee line. So the knee line, I've marked my 1.5 inches for the zip allowance up onto that part. I did not add anything there, just the 1.5 inches up onto the knee line, as you can see. So from the knee line, I'm going to go down because I do not want any excess round there. I'm going to mark 1 inch up onto the hem line. Just as you can see, I've marked 1 inch out. This is it, 1 inch is what I've marked up onto the L, and I'm going to be using 1/2 inch to turn the lining. I'm going to have 1/2 inch excess. I don't want to have any fold up at that area. I hope you understand. But if you don't like it, you can just connect your 1.5 inch all the way down like the normal skirts. So I'm cutting it out now, and I hope you understand. If you have any questions, please do well to ask me. I'll be willing to respond. So this is how I'm going to cut mine now. I'm going to cut it this way and this way. Yes, so just like this, and I'm already cutting, and I'm just going to cut it like this and like this. So by the time I hold in my dart, I'm going to have a curve at that part, as you can see. So I'm done cutting, and I'm going to, yes, this is the line for the knee line. That is the knee line. You can go up if you wish for your slit, or down a little bit. It depends on your preference and whatever you like. So this is my lining, and I've cut my lining on both the front and the back parts. So I'm going to reduce the measurement on the waistline. I'm going to cut out 1 inch. You can actually make use of 3/4, that's 0.75, but I'm making use of 1 inch for myself. You can make use of 3/4, it depends on whatever you like. So I've cut out 1 inch on that part. Instead of me making use of that, I'll just prefer to do that. So I'm done cutting, and you can see the shape of our skirt is already out, and I'm going to go to the hemline now. I'm going to shorten the length of the lining by 2 inches that I've added on the fabric. I hope you understand. So I'm going to shorten it by 2 inches, and I'm going to do the same thing on the back part as well. This is the front part. I'm going to do the same thing on the back part as well. So I'm marking my 2 inches now, and I'm going to cut it out. So I hope you understand. I'm marking the 2 inches line just like. So I'm going to cut it out now, just like this, and I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing for the back parts. So I am done cutting, and this is what I have. This is for the back, and I am done cutting as well. So now this is after turning my lining, and here you can see the sewing allowance I had was 1.5, so now I have 1 inch left because I have used ½ inch to turn in the lining on this part. I hope you understand. So I have 1 inch left here. Now I'm going to mark the waist round. The waist measurement I have there is 8.75, and I'm going to mark it just like so, 8.75. and I'm going to mark 1 inch for that, and I have 1 inch left for the zipper allowance because I have used ½ inch to turn the lining like I said earlier. So I hope you understand the measurement we have right on the waist now. So I've come in by 4.5 inches for my dart. If I were marking it on the pattern, I would have just used 4 to mark it to. I would have just marked 4, but I'm marking 4.5 because I'm marking it on the fabric. So I went down by 5 inches and ½ inches for the upper part there, so that makes it 5.5. You can go down as long as 6 inches, whatever you wish. So I've marked my ½ inch on both sides, and I'm going to use it to turn to. I'm going to notch this area now so I can get to it later. So once I'm done with that, this is what I have. And now what I'm going to do next is to come here. So I have my 1 inch allowance on this side, and I've marked it just like so. So this is the part, the curve that I have in that area, and this is 1 inch I have for my zipper allowance for the back part, zipper allowance. Then you remember that we have our length there is 8 inches plus ½ inch up there, we have 8.5, ½ inch here, and we go down by 8 inches for our hip length. So after getting the hip length there, so I'm going to cut. Remember that we have 1 inch there, 1 inch there. So what I have there is not up to 2 inches anymore. I think it's 1.75. So I'm just going to mark 1 inch for my butt allowance, and the remaining inch for the zipper allowance, and I'm going to mark it just upward to the down. I hope you understand. 1 inch there, 1 inch in for my butt lift, and the remaining 3/4 for the zipper allowance, and I'm going to mark it. I'll just mark it down up onto the down where the slit is going to be starting from. I hope you understand. So I've just marked it just like so, and you can see the excess on the butt part of the back. So I'm just going to be running a stitch through that line that I've marked just like this, and I'm going to show you what I have after doing that. I'm just going to run it so you can see it. By the time I'm done, I'm going to have that side open like that. There's not going to be any folding part inside of it. I'm just going to have it like so. I'm done now, and you can see what I have. I've held in my allowances, and this is what I have, and you can see where the slit is starting from, that there is no material whatsoever in that part. You can see it's just going to be open like that. So after doing that, you can see the shape of our fabric, the shape of our skirt. The boxed part is already out, the excess there is already showing, and this is what I have. So after doing that, I'm just going to, yes, you can turn the inside like that. So after doing that, I'm just going to place it this way. I've held in my dart as well, as you can see. I'm just going to place the front part on it now, and by the time I place it on it, you can see the curved area that we have right here is already there. So I'm just going to, you can see the excess down by the side like this. So I'm just going to place it each other, make sure that they are matching on the waistline like so. Make sure that they are matching on the hip line as well. You're going to have your excess inside of it. By the time that excess we are having here is what we are going to use as the butt lift. So that is where the butt is going to be sitting in. You must have it. If you don't have anything like this, that means you have done it the wrong way. So just make sure that they are matching this way, matching on both sides, on all sides up onto the hemline, just like this. Make sure that they are matching, and you're going to sew it round down now with 1 inch sewing allowance that we have. I hope you understand. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. We're going to sew it with 1 inch allowance, sewing allowance. Remember, we have 1 inch sewing allowance all the way down. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So once I'm done, this is what I have after I am done. Thank you for watching. You can see the front part, the way how neat and nice it's all looking. And thank you for watching. Thank you. God bless you. If you find this helpful, please kindly subscribe, like, and share. I'm sorry I cannot wear it for you to see. This is the back part, and I'm sure that you can see the excess where the butt is going to be sitting right like this. I hope you can see the butt, and you can see the slit, how it's looking. It does not have any fold part inside. It's just going to be like so. Thank you for watching, and God bless you. See you on the next one.